brand new intro courtesy of a friend's band from 20 years ago. Actually, not even really a friend of mine, but it's a story. But first, Tim is back. Hello, Tim.
Hey, what's going on? You can you know what? Are they still around, that band? Are they still
No,
alive?
no.
Are they toast?
So it's it was like we were all in our teens and early 20s, and they had the band going. And they had some local stuff, and they actually were pretty good. I mean, they sounded really good comparatively to everybody has like some friends in high school that had a band, right? And these guys were actually legit, but that was in like 2012 or something. And now they're all, your age, Tim, and kind of, I mean, I don't know where they all went, but the point is that we're not going to get sued for any copyright stuff.
That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
Just pick a song that is not copyrighted, so you cannot have legal
Yeah.
ramifications after.
One of my favorite
So,
songs, honestly, but I would say to go check them out, but it doesn't matter because they're not even making music anymore. So
yeah,
don't
so
worry about
don't check them out. Don't
it.
look for them
Yeah,
ever.
yeah,
So you didn't intro us our names, so of course
yeah.
Doc is not here. Doc, we didn't know if he was going to come on or not. He kept saying he might be available, and then it wasn't. So
He's
that was
incredibly unreliable. I mean, these feds, I don't like they're making me be on all these podcasts, these prospect ones, and I'm supposed to be like slamming down 25,000 words about Kyle Teal and Edgar Cuero and stuff right now in the team previews, but here I am talking to you every day.
Yeah, well, if you just had to file a tax extension, that was just due. So now you would know what your extension money is going towards.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can find John on X at JohnPGH. You can find me on X at Fantasy Aceball, where you'll also right now find me. Is it still called posting, not tweeting now?
I just keep it. I'm never gonna stop. It's
Tweeting,
tweeting. I call it
Twittering,
tweeting. Let's
whatever it
not
is.
worry about it. Yeah.
So Eric Cross is throwing on the Tool Shed prospect mock draft with a bunch of industry people. There's like 15 people in the industry in there. Doc's actually in it too. So he did find time to draft. I did have to text him and tell him you're on the clock. He did find time to do the draft. So as you're arresting baddies and whatever, you can still draft.
I thought isn't that a term for like sexual woman?
Oh God, I don't know, dude. I'm too old. I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't think it just means criminal. Anyway.
Anyway, we're gonna be talking about the Atlanta Braves.
Hold on, no, you had a point there. You were doing a tool shed mock or something.
Yes, yeah, I'm doing a Tool Shed mock, and I'm gonna be posting about all my picks in the draft. It's like 500 people deep, and I had the second pick, and I went Kevin McGonigal. I have not picked again yet, so
you're going through
there it is. There it is. Yeah, going through it. And I'm showing off the tools, so hopefully we get some subscribers on there while I'm posting and showing off all the cool stuff. So that's what's going on.
So who went one?
Connor Griffin, who I would have picked.
So how this is just like what it's just rookie eligible or like people that haven't debuted yet or what?
Yeah, it's prospect eligible players based on innings pitched and at bats. So 130 or less at bats and 50 or less innings pitched. So like for instance, Eric Cross just picked Chase Burns with like the fourth pick.
Here we go.
Even though you can see it on there if you're watching on YouTube, or X or whatever, X video, whatever. But Eric Cross just picked Chase Burns, number 4. So no, Chase Burns has obviously debuted in like 30 innings or whatever.
Solo and McLean as well, yeah. Okay, cool. So that's the other big announcement is I don't know if you saw it, Tim. I don't even know if Tim himself subscribes to MLB Data Warehouse, honestly, but I announced. Hold on, we're spilling the game here. Here we go. I announced the MLBDW official prospect league, so it's out. It launches. I'm taking applications, so that will be. I said at least 15 teams and up to 30. And it'll be on Fantrax and big. And I don't know. I don't know the settings very much yet because, as you can see, I don't want to be the one determining that. I'm going to let the people that know best kind of dictate how that works. But if you want in, it is certainly going to lean. If I can fill it out with paid subscribers first, that's what I'm going to do. But if we have to open it up for more people, whatever. So go to MLBDataWarehouse.com. It's the pinned post there. You can apply to get in, but not every application is going to get in. I'm going to be a little bit picky. So there's that.
Yes, let's get 30. I want 30 teams. We need to replicate real MLB.
And I already have interest about someone running because I said my offer was if someone will be the commissioner for me, I will give you a comp subscription, MLB Data Warehouse. You won't have to pay for the life of, as long as you're commissioner, you don't have to pay me at all, and then I'll pay your league entry fee for the first year. So luckily, I won't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's a total value right there. Like that is so much work to commission, especially a deep prospects league. Oh no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
That's it. That's a good deal. Someone take that up. But anyway, let's talk about the Braves. So we're gonna get into the Braves top 20 prospects. Number 20 is Ian Mejia, who starts Andy's reliever. I think probably he ultimately ends up in the pen. So I was gonna highlight only one of these, like, bottom 5 or whatever, and Doc was gonna do one, but obviously he's not here. So 19 is Jose Perdomo. I'm kind of keeping him on this list as, like, because he's been terrible so far in American ball, in pro ball. So he was like the number 1 international guy a year or two ago. You might remember, John. I think it's 2 years ago at this point now. So he was like the number 1 J6 guy, and it got paid like big bucks, and then just terrible. So bad. But he had pedigree, so I'm leaving him on the list. 18 is Brett Sears, who's kind of an interesting guy, but he's older. If you want to throw up Brett Sears, John, on the Tableau page. So Sears is 25 years old and actually put up some pretty decent stats. But again, he is older, and it's like, okay, like, what's his best case scenario here is maybe like a 5th or 6th starter. So I don't really see like a superstar or anything like this, but I think like as a 5th or 6th starter, Brett Sears is a pretty decent name to watch. And for like leagues for next year, he might have some value because we'd see here that his control 115 like doesn't throw a lot of or doesn't walk a lot of guys, but the swing strike stuff is not really great. Only throws 89 miles an hour on the fastball, 89.5. Yeah. So it's not like he's got like great stuff. But as a control guy, he might have some value in deep leagues by just like not walking people and throwing innings at some point next year. It all kind of depends on what the Braves do to this offseason. Like, are they going to go try to get guys, or like what's their offseason plan going to be?
Is he related to JP?
That's a good question. I don't know if he is.
Probably not. I think the answer to that every time I've asked is like
they'd be kind of similar. I think actually JP is more like stuff over control, but
they're not the same person according to AI. So
not the same person.
There's also that JP Sears comedian. That guy. Anyway, that's a different story. I was surprised that there are 2 humans named JP Sears, and one of them's a crazy redheaded comedian and one's a major league pitcher. But that's reality.
I didn't even know that.
The only Sears still standing. Rest in peace to shopping malls.
Yes. Though fun, interesting note. The CEO of former CEO of Sears is a client of mine, and I'm pretty sure
now?
He gets kidnapped and like, seriously, Wikipedia. But anyway, yeah, he's one of my clients in Miami. But yeah, interesting stuff. That dude is a special client.
You put a roof on for him or something? Is that what you mean?
Oh yeah. Like his house is, I don't know. You can't. He has got like a labyrinth and stuff, and we're not allowed to take photos there because he's been kidnapped before. Wow. Yeah, that's a whole story.
Sears was a big deal, man. I mean, Sears was like top 50 companies in the country, I bet, at one point.
Oh yeah, that's why I think like that, and like what's the other one? J.C. Penney's. Those are like the stores when we were kids.
Funny you say that.
Shop there.
Funny you say that because I've been trying hard to get J.C. Penney to be a sponsor of MLB Data Warehouse, and they liked them. They liked the tweet, so I said I've been pair of thieves, and I'm like dead serious, man. I'm not even about the money. I just really want to show my support for these companies. So I'll just do it anyway, like free pub for them. JCPenney, like been buying every pair of jeans. I know I've bought like 4 to 5 pair of jeans in my life, but they've all been from JCPenney straight up. There's still one open where I live. And then Pair of Thieves, an underwear company, they have t-shirts and stuff too. Just absolutely incredible underwear. So, you should buy their stuff, even if they don't, I know we're small potatoes. There's bigger advertising opportunities out there, but I'm also not expensive. So I don't know. I was really looking forward to JCPenney running some JCPenney ads, but they're too busy paying Shaq, I guess. I mean, I don't know why would you pay Shaq like $5 million when you could pay me like, I don't know, 500. I don't know. That's all I would really want, but more to come on that. Maybe if I can finally convince one of these companies to be a part of my joke.
All about eyeballs, man. So number 17 is Conor Essenburg, starting pitcher. Number 16 is the guy that I wanted to highlight is Drue Hackenberg. So we got 2 Bergs in a row. Drue Hackenberg actually had a really good 2024 and then a really bad 2025. I thought he was going to debut in 2025 in the majors. Turns out that didn't happen. But because, oh yeah, look at those F scores: 84 stuff, 75 controlled, 95 FERA. That's terrible. That's how bad he was.
What are we doing then?
Yeah, well, but look, 4.13 JA ERA over the last 2 seasons here. Because look, check just 2024. Look at this. What's going to happen? 352. Yeah, see? Yeah. So he was okay, and he pitched a lot of innings, and he was older, so I thought he was going to be just like one of these like Brett Sears types, like I said, that could debut as like a number 5, number 6 guy and just like get some innings in deep leagues and stuff like that. But he was just so bad this last year that it didn't happen. And I think that there's still like, I don't know, maybe MLB pitcher in there somewhere, and the Braves system isn't that deep. It's not like the Twins or the Orioles, which is going to be the next team we talk about, where they have a ton of, or like even like Pittsburgh, where they have a ton of like fun prospects. It's kind of just like, look, the Braves have a draft a lot of college pitchers, and like a lot of them are going to be like the number 5 types, and this is just one of them. And I think he might be one of the better ones of those types.
That's a 1% K to walk, man. You're making this is tough. It's tough to go 20 prospects deep.
Yes, well, it depends on, like I said, it all depends on the team. Braves. This just shows you system depth. When you go 20 deep on some of these teams, it shows you how bad their system is. That's why it's so fun when you're like, okay, like the Twins were like unexpectedly bad this year. Like they could have been a playoff team maybe if everything went right for them, but their system's really good still. And like Pittsburgh, at least Pittsburgh has a really good, fun farm system. So, I mean, like if you're a bad team and you have a good system, at least you have like hope on the horizon. Yeah. I mean, like the Braves at least have a really good team and just had a bunch of injuries. So this is not like a situation where they are just a terrible team and then also have a terrible system like the Angels. It's more just that they had very, very bad injury luck last year and probably bounce back next year. Especially they might trade for a guy like Sonny Gray or something like that.
Right. So. Sales should be healthy at the beginning, and then Schwellenbach shouldn't, right? Well, no, I guess Schwellenbach should be in there if things go well. But after that, it's like, who else are you talking about with them? They tried a lot of guys.
Fuentes, Didier Fuentes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sonny Gray is from Tennessee, and the reason he chose the Cardinals is because he wanted to be close to home, and he has a no-trade clause. So Sonny Gray is going to relieve his no-trade clause. It's probably the Braves or the Reds if he wants to go back to Cincinnati again, would be my guess.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway. 15 is Luis Guanipa, outfielder. 14, Blake Burkhalter, starting pitcher. 13, John Gill, shortstop. I want to bring up John Gill here if you want to bring him up. Not just because his name is John, but he's actually a pretty decent player here. So we'll see as you pull him up. Boom. Oh.
Nope.
Yeah, he wasn't ready. Look, and the whole last podcast, John, I talked about how slow I am at this compared to you. But you got him. See, 100 hit, 98 power, 112 discipline, 137 speed. That's a pretty solid player for a 19-year-old who made it all the way up to AA last year.
And his age should be here. Some of these ages just don't show up. And then there should be, I don't know.
Well, it shows it on the bottom. It says 19.4
right there.
Age. Yes, exactly. Okay. So he's actually going to be 19 next year at the beginning of the year, like starting the year at 19. Yeah. And he had this year, John, 7 home runs and 54 stolen bases. Now he got caught stealing 14 times too, but at least he's aggressive on the base paths. Like he's basically running every time he gets on base. It seems like if you 50%. Are going to get 54 steals and then caught stealing 14 times. So that's pretty crazy. But this is a really fun dude. And like I said, he's young, advanced for his level. And like, once we get this weighted WRC plus, like age weighted, whatever we're going to call it, like, I don't know what you want to name it, but we're talking about creating a new statistic where basically we're going to take WRC plus and it'll be for minor leaguers. And basically it's going to be age adjusted per level, that WRC plus. So once we get that, like a guy like this would probably pop because, he's, even though he spent like the majority of the season at low A and he didn't even play at high A, he did make it to AA at 19. So that'll help.
But very little power, huh?
Yes. Well, 7 bombs. I mean, also you got to keep in mind that was an A ball, and he's still pretty young.
Okay. Did you notice the changed font on the other dashboards?
I did. What font is that?
It's called Oswald. I'm trying to just I'm trying to brand it. I mean, did it look good? what was your initial reaction?
I think it's fine. Oswald. That's
Yeah.
the name of a font. Who named
Yeah.
like Oswald Patton? Like who
Yeah, it's
names
probably,
a
yeah.
font
I don't know.
Oswald?
The guy was probably named Oswald. He's like, I made a font. But here it
Yes.
is. It's a Google font. There it is. I mean, it's pretty solid. Better than what I'm just really trying. I'm doing everything I can here before, like, in January, February, really got to start like locking down on actual draft content and stuff. But for now, I'm really trying to pretty things up. I'm not doing a great job at it, but at least I'm trying. Like, again, I don't have an artistic bone in my body, but I'm trying.
All right, we got to get some feedback on Oswald. Everybody,
Yeah.
John's going to throw a poll up on X after this podcast goes out, and it's going to say, "Is Oswald a yes or an Oswald font a yes or no for
Yeah,
MLB Data
oh, look
Warehouse?"
at that. It's everywhere, though. Even on the, holy cow. All right, we got problems. Even on the main dashboard as this loads in, it thinks
I
for
noticed.
mobile.
I noticed that because I was pulling stuff up on my phone earlier when I was at a red light, and
Yeah.
it was like way bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. It actually helps on the phone, I think, because it's easier to see on like a small screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
back to the dudes, back to the Braves. Number 12 is Garrett Baumann, starting pitcher. And number 11 is Ethan Workinger, shortstop, who's probably profiles as like a super util guy. Like, I kind of like him, kind of decent super util player. Baumann is the guy that I wanted to highlight here, though, because he's a really interesting guy. So if you want to pull him up, John.
It's coming. There's a lot of these names. Baumann.
Yeah,
Garrett
Baumann, 6'8", 245-pound dude. In high A this last year as a 20-year-old, so spent the whole season at high A as a 20-year-old, 113 innings, which is good, means that he's getting deep into games, and a 16% K minus walk rate. So kind of an interesting dude here, especially because of the size. 6.4% walk rate only, pretty good for someone of that size. So I like him. I mean, like, I feel like everything's pretty solid across the board here for him. I don't know why the stuff is so down on him. I guess just because the swing strike rates were lower, like 10.8% swing strike rate over the last year is not great. But
yeah,
he's a big dude, and I'm pretty sure he's got some good velocity too. Let me bring him up, his velocity up real quick.
Yeah, he wouldn't be one that would get. He wouldn't get credit for that in my model right now because he hasn't appeared in any of those.
96 to 97 mile per hour fastball.
Okay, so yeah, that should come up. I mean, so the key is for the people that are really into the dashboards, like. At this point, if you see somebody that hasn't played in any StatCast games, which will be mostly everybody below AAA, I didn't get like fastball velo. I wasn't going to go out to some crazy, I wasn't going to go data mine at all. Maybe I can someday, but as soon as this dude gets to AAA and makes like 2 outings, and then we rerun the F scores, then he'll get credit for the fastball, and that will come up quite a bit. So.
Yep. Because right now all it's reading is his K rate and swinging strike rate.
Swinging strike rate mainly. Yeah, swinging strike rate is the main input for this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So of course it's not going to read too well, but then again, too, like you can throw 100 and have a terrible fastball if it's straight as an arrow. Yeah. So, it all depends too. But 6'8", I love a tall guy like that.
Injuries? So those guys get hurt more? Do you think?
I don't know. He's also big though. It's not like he's tall and skinny like Tristan McKenzie.
Yeah,
this guy is 245 pounds too. He's a hoss. So he I kind of love that body type really for pitchers. Like. It just reminds me of like a Lance Lynn. It's like, okay, this guy's going to just throw a ton of innings. Like Lance Lynn was like 200 innings every year for like, I don't know, 10 years. Like just the same thing all the time. Like mid-3s ERA, not a terrible whip. Ks, walks, whatever. But it's like, I don't know. Some of those guys are underrated. Just like bulk matters in a lot of leagues. So next 5 here, number 10, getting into the top 10. We have outfielder Michael Martinez, who's a lot of fun. You won't want to pull him up because he's the only reason I didn't highlight him is because we're not gonna have statistics on him because he's a DSL guy. Number 9, Alex Lodise, second base and shortstop. He was drafted, so he was I think their second rounder. I've got number 8 here. This is the guy I actually want to pull up is Briggs McKenzie, and Briggs McKenzie was also drafted. So we're not going to have anything on him, but this is the guy that I wanted to talk about. So despite you not having anything for him, we're still going to talk about him because Briggs McKenzie got a ton of money. Like this guy got paid. So I want to say he was their third rounder or something like that. Pick number 127. I want to say that's a third rounder, but I think he got like $4 million, which is insane. It's like way over slot. Let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah. So what's that? How's that?
He got basically $3 million and was picked. Like, what was slot value for his pick was 588,000. So he got paid basically $2.5 million over slot.
Was there like a threat he'd go to college or something?
Yeah, that's why, because he was a high school pitcher, so they had to like way overpay him.
So they really liked him. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, they really like him, exactly, and I really like him too, because his pitches are pretty. Like, I've watched a bunch of video on these guys, and like his pitches are pretty good. Like, I'm a fan of him. I don't know why. Maybe because his name is McKenzie too. It like just reminded me of like Mackenzie Gore when I was like watching him, because like I think a lot of the video was like his breaking stuff, and I'm like, oh, and it just reminded me like high school, like Mackenzie Gore with like the breaking ball and everything. But I don't know.
Was he? Do you follow the draft super close when it happens?
I watched the College World Series, so I watched a lot of the college stuff, and then the high school stuff. Generally, I'm just getting like whatever random videos out there, because a lot of it is. This is the thing with high schoolers and why it's like hard to evaluate.
Well, first of all, it feels weird to be evaluating a 17-year-old boy.
Well, I guess I don't know. I coach T-ball, so I'm constantly evaluating my 5-year-old kid, 4 to 6-year-old kids that I'm coaching right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I guess the main thing is like in high school, the only video we're gonna get is good video, because the only thing we're gonna get is hype videos.
Yeah.
That like parents or coaches or like the player themselves is posting, and they're not gonna post stuff of them like striking out or like doing dumb stuff or like being terrible. It's all gonna be them like jacking bombs and stealing bags and like making throws across the diamond and like striking dudes out on sick curveballs or throwing 100 or whatever. So it's like you're never going to get bad video of a high school player or like a Dominican guy. So it's really hard to evaluate. So basically, like for pitchers, I'm just like, how hard are they throwing the ball? Okay, cool. And then like how much movement do they have? It's really hard to evaluate command in like high school video, but it's just like, are they getting movement, and like how hard are they throwing it? And then the main thing for me too is like seeing like, okay, this team paid this guy $2.5 million over slot, and the Braves are pretty good at developing pitchers. So like, I'm going to buy into that.
Well, I asked because like there are some of these guys that would go in the first round, but every team is convinced they just want to go to college. So nobody drafts them, right? Is that the case here? Like, would this have been a first round guy if he said, I'm absolutely looking to sign a pro contract, or do you not know?
I feel like I don't know. Like, it's just so
that wasn't a storyline.
Maybe like maybe like comp or like second round. It's just hard to know, because like there, for instance, like there was a guy in this last draft named Jack Bauer, who was number 24 too, and that guy is a lefty who throws like 102 or something like that as a high schooler, and it's like I thought for sure he was going to be drafted. I was like, this guy's going to be like a late first or early second round pick. And then he didn't get drafted. And then after it was like the second or third round, I was just like, oh, he's going to college now because he didn't get drafted. So it's like,
because he told the teams. Presumably he told the teams.
Yeah, he probably had a price. He's probably like, look, I will sign for nothing less than X amount of dollars.
Right.
And then like that's how they're going to have to go. So like, for instance, this late in the draft, 4th or 5th round, when Briggs McKenzie, he probably told all these teams, look, I'm not signing for anything unless I'm going to college unless you pay me $3 million or more dollars. And then it comes down to what teams have that money left over in their draft pool, right?
Yeah. Because
every team has like a allotted amount of money. You can't just be the Dodgers and throw every single player like 20 mil just to get them. Like you have a bonus pool that's eligible that you can actually award to players. So he could only go to teams that had like underslotted other guys. Do
the like unsuccessful teams get more money to spend in this kind of stuff, or is it all equal? Do you know?
I want to say that it's all based on your picks. So like how much money you get is all based on like where you're picking. So basically, like if you're picking 1, you have a draft slot value of like 7.5 mil or whatever it might be. And then it's every single pick that you have has money attached to it.
Yeah.
And if you sign guys under that money, that's giving you extra money that you can then use to get a Briggs McKenzie later in the draft.
I think it would be a good opportunity to like, I don't know, for competitive balance purposes, like give the bad teams some way to spend more money in the draft or something like that. Some way to like try to get some balance. I mean, it's not like the Dodgers would care. The Dodgers have I mean, is anybody? I guess you could name a couple, but like they're probably about to win the World Series. Are any of their main players guys that came up in their minor league system, like Will Smith? I guess.
Yeah, Will Smith
Yeah.
and Pages. Kershaw for like 20 years ago.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the rotation
Yeah.
is Snell, Glasnow, Otani, Yamamoto, just like all exterior. So I don't know. Never mind. That's Briggs McKenzie for the Braves. We'll get back to it, but I do think that there's some way to go ahead.
One more thing on Briggs McKenzie. So I mentioned his curveball. He has over 3,000 RPM for spin rates on the curveball, and the average major league pitcher is 2,238 RPM,
Wow.
and he's over 3,000. So yeah, there's the hammer curve for Briggs McKenzie.
Is it like Charlie Morton? Who is the big, or what's it, Ryan Presley? Was he the big curveball spin rate guy?
I always think of Adam Wainwright, but that's because I'm a Cardinals guy. Yeah. So like, of course.
I remember Presley being big. He kind of reinvigorated his career with the spin rate. He was the spin rate poster boy.
Yep. Number 7. We're on 7 is shortstop Tate Southisene. He was a first rounder. One of my least favorite first rounders, but I guess that's how they got Briggs McKenzie. So can't be too mad, I suppose. Okay. Number 6 is starting pitcher Lucas Braun. This is another dude, Lucas Braun, and then we've got 2 Lukes. We've got number 6, Lucas Braun, and number 5, Luke Sinnard. I kind of want to pair these 2 guys together here, John, because they're very similar. They're both like guys that kind of popped up out of nowhere this year. Like they were not prospects really that like anyone cared about last year. Lucas Braun and Luke Sinnard, and they're both very close to the majors. So it's just something that I want to note here. You could see that Braun, actually, we have his pitch level data, so that means he was in AAA this year, right off the bat. 24-year-old, 3.22 JA ERA, good control. So, like, for whatever reason, the Braves have a lot of these guys with pretty good control here. 92-mile-per-hour fastball, so not great fastball, but look at the slider, 17.7% swing strike rate is a pretty solid slider. The cutter, 21.7. So he's got a couple decent pitches there. Like, I don't think, again, some of these guys are not going to be like, when I'm talking about Lucas Braun and Luke Sinnard, I don't think either of these guys is going to be a top of a rotation guy, but they're going to be back of rotation guys that could get innings as soon as next year. So that's important. Sometimes, that's all you need. And some of those guys pop, you know what I mean? Like all it takes is this guy to go to drive line and develop a new pitch. And then all of a sudden he's way better than anyone thought. And he was already close to the majors.
Sinnard looks like a strikeout guy.
Yeah, so here's Sinnard, 2.98 JA ERA, 28% K rate. So, I mean, like, really, I want to see, like, 30% K rates for top of rotation guys in the minors. But, 28.3 is still solid, 19.3 K minus walk.
Good splits.
So, 110 stuff, 110 control, 96 JA ERA, so maybe gives up a little bit, too many homers and leaves the ball, doesn't get enough ground balls or something like that. But I like Sinnard and Braun as guys that can contribute as soon as next year, and do some things, especially with how thin the pitching staff is here.
Yeah, the Braves are in rough shape, huh? 2 bad years in a row, didn't make the playoffs this year, and we're not even really excited about anybody yet, and we're down in the top 5.
Yeah, well,
all pitching too. The whole top 6 is pitching.
Yeah, number 4, J.R. Ritchie. This guy, a lot of people know because a lot of people, their only prospect stuff that they're going to watch all year is like the futures game. And he started in the futures game. So that kind of got him some big run here. So J.R. Ritchie, you can see, is again a control over stuff guy, which is why I'm not super high on him. He did not make my top 150 prospects, but he was like in the range. I'd say like probably 170, top 175 or something like that is what he would end up in for me. Just because I'm not in love with the stuff, which you can see. Look at his swinging strike rates on his pitches. He has one pitch that's over a 12%, and that's a sinker. Everything else is like 10, 11. And it's not like he has he has 3 pitches that have over a 10% swinging strike rate. So he has like a bunch of 40, basically like a bunch of 45s. He's throwing a bunch of 45 level pitches. Like that sinker, 12.8 is actually a good sinker. Most sinkers don't generate that much swing and miss. So, 56% ground ball rate. So he does have a good sinker. But besides that, he doesn't really have like a prime strikeout pitch. So, like, I don't really know from Ritchie if we're gonna get like this elite fantasy asset that a lot of people think they might be getting, just because he was in the futures game, and people are like, "Oh, he started the futures game. That's sick." But you got to remember too that I think the futures game was in Atlanta this year. Wasn't the All-Star game in Atlanta?
Yeah, it was, because they give it back to them after that political debacle a few years ago.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you got to keep that in mind too. Like, would he have started if it wasn't in Atlanta? Maybe not.
Good ERAs. I mean, 2.34 ERA. That probably factors a bit more into those kind of decisions than it should. Like, good ERAs and good WHIP, but the underlying stuff doesn't paint nearly as rosy of a picture.
Yeah, you might have more of like a Logan Webby-ish type pitcher here, right? Like if everything works out.
That'd be nice. You know, I mean,
that'd be nice. But, yeah, if everything works out perfectly, that'd be like the ideal outcome for him.
How many Logan Webbs? Like Logan Webb and like Sandy Alcantara when he's, I mean, I guess that fell apart, but Logan Webb's like the only dude that's really been able to consistently be an awesome fantasy pitcher without a high strikeout rate, although he did start striking guys out this year. But yeah, it's not something you want to rely on. You really want to see the strikeouts.
Yep, exactly. Number 3 is another starting pitcher, as you already mentioned, and we actually saw him this year, which is crazy that this guy was up, because the Braves are basically the Angels of the National League, and nobody really realizes it because the Angels suck, so everyone makes fun of the Angels for calling.
I remember Michael Harris came right from Double-A, Schwellenbach right from Double-A. They are quick.
Yeah, so Didier Fuentes, 20-year-old, debuted this year at the age of 19. He was literally 19 years old when he made his major league debut and I think I can't remember if this is accurate, but I think he was like the second youngest player to ever make a major league start. I think that's correct. But Fuentes is basically a 2-pitch guy. His fastball is insane. Like, he has a really, really good fastball. And I throw his fastball, I give it a 60 to 70 grade on the fastball. And then he has a sweeper that's also really good, and I give him a 50 to 60 grade on the sweeper. But then he also throws curve, and there they are if you're watching, right? You got them up?
Here.
Oh, no, not yet. Okay, so he also throws a curve, and he throws a sinker, and he throws a splitter. But I like look at the fastball there. 58% use.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
These are his major league starts, but it's 104.
109 stuff in the majors.
Yeah, that's a huge 104 JA stuff. Plus, as mentioned last time, that's not big in like the Fangraphs model or whatever the one people go to, but 4 points above 100 is huge in the current version of this. I think it still needs refined, but yeah, the fastball is really good.
Yeah,
except this 45%. I mean, 13% ground ball rate. It's only 169 pitches, but guys were lifting that real easy, and that turned into a 886 slugging when it was put in play. So that maybe some command issues.
Yeah, I mean, his command is okay, actually. In the minors, it was okay. He had a really high BABIP in his little major league run, and like really bad luck. So if you take his like 441 JA ERA, for instance, what was his ERA though? It was like 8 or something. Yeah, like
38% home run to fly ball is crazy. 395 BABIP is crazy. 57. Even that's the one thing people kind of think like hard hit rates. I say this every year, and I write an article about it. Like hard hit rates for pitchers, they're more random than you think. I mean, people want to say like this guy got hit really hard, he'll get hit really hard again next year, and that's certainly what happened here with Fuentes. But there's a really good opportunity to buy into guys that had good K to walk stuff, but just got hit really hard because those like barrel rates allowed, those high home run rates allowed. Like there's some signal there, and probably the issue with Fuentes here was just maybe tipping it, maybe being too reliant on the fastball, and major league hitters could kind of sit on it. He threw it for a strike enough, but that doesn't mean it was great. So there's like a difference between control and command, right? Like maybe he kind of had poor command in the zone. It was just kind of leaving it hanging up there. It looks like there were some problems there, but like next year, the bet would be this 57% hard hit rate comes way down. So does the expected WOBA, at least on contact. And then some of this other stuff works out. I mean, he's not going to allow a 17-17 slug. So maybe a little bit of a buy low there. Cause when people are looking at his like player card, they're going to want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he really just needs a third pitch. Like if he can get a third pitch that goes the other way from the sweeper, so you need something that kind of like if he can get the splitter, turn that splitter into a good pitch, or like turn that curve into like a death ball or something, then I think he's gonna play significantly better.
Do you think will there ever be like a pitcher that can legit throw with both hands? Wasn't there a Yankees dude?
There's a Mariners guy, Durangelo Sagent. I don't know how to say his last name, Sagenti or something.
Yeah.
He was drafted out of Mississippi State, so he does throw with both hands, and he has a glove that goes on both hands. But the thing is that you have to declare as a pitcher how you're going to face that batter, and then you have to use that. You can't switch mid.
I wonder when they figured out that they needed a rule for that.
I think there was a guy like back in the day,
Yeah.
like maybe like the Browns or something. I don't know. The St. Louis Browns back in the day used to do all kinds of weird stuff. Like they had a dwarf, because you have to say dwarf. They had a dwarf that they had hit for them. He was like 3 feet tall, and he just they played him one game, and he had like all walks. And they're like, wait, that's not fair.
Yeah.
They're like, just moneyball it. You're just gonna have like a team of a circus, like just bring in the circus into your team.
I just want, so could you do you know the exact rule? Can you switch back and forth every batter, or can you only do it once an inning or something, or what?
It's every hitter. So for each at bat, he has to declare if he's gonna throw left-handed or right-handed.
Okay, but still a good advantage. You'd never have the platoon.
Yeah, that's true. And he's way better as a righty than a lefty.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Will that ever, I mean, we never thought that like Ohtani would happen, but I'm just thinking of this as like, this is the next phenomenon that somebody will figure out how to be very good with both hands, and then they'll have a big advantage. But I guess it wouldn't be that big because you can't like alternate between pitches, or like, I'm like visioning them like, starting with their back turned, and then the hitter has no idea until they turn around.
You almost think that type of player would be better as a reliever, like a multi-inning reliever, like high leverage reliever, because then that's the time of the game where people are pinch hitting. No one's pinch hitting it against starters. Like people are pinch hitting at the end of the game. So really that'd be the best role for him, would be to be like a fireman 7th, 8th inning type guy. And then it's like, it's like, oh, let's put the lefties in, and it doesn't matter. Right. So
you can almost just like you don't even need you could just need a right-handed sweeper and a left-handed sweeper that like just always goes way far away from the other, and you never have that pitch moving in toward them.
We'll talk about Durangelo when we get to the Mariners.
All right. Well, maybe we'll find some video of him. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy for sure. Number 2 is Caminiti, starting pitcher with the Braves. Caminiti is actually really is a high-end guy. So like, while I like Fuentes a lot, I think Fuentes is more like a mid-rotation guy just because he only has like 2 pitches, and he's going to be kind of volatile. But Caminiti has number 1, number 2 upside. He has, again, big fastball. He's a lefty that can throw 100 miles an hour. I don't think he does it consistently, but he can reach there. And then he also has a really sick slider. So Caminiti. Oh, talking about Mackenzie Gore earlier, that was my comp for him. My comp was raw Mackenzie Gore with wiry mechanics. It was literally my comp and my prospect write-up for Caminiti. But Arsenal grades that I gave him a 60-65 on the fastball. I gave him a 60-65 on the sweeper. I gave him a 45 on the curve, and then a 50-55 on the split change. And then he has pretty solid command too. His command actually got better as the year went on. So like, if at the beginning of the year he had kind of rough command, but he was a high schooler who was drafted in the first round last year. And then he just got better as the year went on. And here you go. I know you love relatives. He is Ken Caminiti's nephew. So
I knew it. The old Padres third baseman, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or is it Giants? Is that right?
Doc and I were talking about, I think he won it. He was like second in MVP one year or something like that.
He was in, I had this computer game in like 1995. It was, remember, you were there. I mean, you were kids too, but like Windows 95. Remember Windows 95? Yeah. Did you come in like a rich family like me that had a personal computer in 1994? Or?
I did. I had a computer. I had Age of Empires 1.
Yeah.
Windows 95.
Yes. Yeah. So, I had this game for Windows whatever. Might even been Windows I guess it would have at least been 95. But it was it was the All-Star game from that year. Like that's all it was. You would play. You load it up and you would play the one game, and you wouldn't. There was no graphics or anything. You just kind of told the guy to hit or swing or pitch or whatever, and then it kind of just like played it. I mean, super super basic. Like one of the first baseball games. But it was those two NL and AL All-Star teams, and I remember a lot of those names just from that. So Ken Caminiti was the starting third baseman on one of those teams.
Yeah, the best '90s baseball game was Ken Griffey Jr. whatever for Nintendo 64.
Super Nintendo. Oh,
yeah, I think it was 64. 64, wasn't it?
Well, I'm sure they had them all, but what me and my buddies always played was Super Nintendo, Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball, whatever.
Yeah, Barry Bonds was like a cheat code in that game because you had
Yeah.
like a target and basically like you're like shooting a gun trying to hit the baseball and your target
This is
was
a totally different game.
and hit not oh I don't know maybe people know this game and then Ken Griffey Jr. baseball or something and so the target for
Yeah.
like guys that suck at hitting like Mark McGuire's was like tiny, but his power was like all the way up. Barry Bonds was like the whole screen. And then his power was also all the way up. So basically, every time you're at the plate, if you didn't hit a home run with Barry Bonds, you just sucked.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that one, the Super Nintendo version, they didn't even have the rights to the player names, but they were all modeled after real players, but there was just no contract there where they could use the names. So like his name wouldn't have been Barry Bonds. And then for whatever reason, I mean everybody knows MVP 05, right? When Barry Bonds still wouldn't let them he was John Dowd, right? And all these other games, like for whatever reason, he was that big of a deal that he had a separate contract or whatever. But anyway, producer Lee, who we've had on the podcast, the winner of the Burrow Fantasy Baseball League this year, he had a Super Nintendo. So all the time in summer when we were high school kids, before we started working and stuff, we'd go over there and play Ken Griffey. And then one day, one like month probably he took the time to go enter all the current names. So he went and put the current MLB in. So whatever, like he just went to the Brewers and just filled out whatever the roster was that year. And like there was no good way to save stuff. It did have memory, but then one day he was playing and like the power went out and it wiped the memory.
Everything.
So yeah, it took him dozens and dozens of hours to do it and it was all gone, but those are some good memories.
That sucks. So number one, Brave system is starting pitcher Owen Murphy. So a bunch of pitchers here. Owen Murphy came back from Tommy John surgery at the very end of the year. He was one of my favorite players last year until he got hurt and had to get TJ. Fastball is just ridiculous. My comp from is Bryce Miller because he's a shorter guy with a fastball that doesn't have like electric velocity, like it's low to mid 90s. But his IVB, like the break he gets on it, is insane. Like he's had up to like 22 inches of IVB on that fastball, and it's just funny to watch people try to hit it because it just like floats. Like it just says so high up in the zone. He also has a really nice slider. I give him a 60 to 65 grade on the slider. Curve, I give him a 55 to 60 grade. And he has really good command, too. I give him a 60 to 65 grade on the command. So Owen Murphy, I'm a big fan of. I think
23% K to walk, and he's only thrown 70 innings in the last 2 seasons, but K's K to walk career, I mean, in the mid-20s over these last 2 seasons.
Yes.
0.77, 0.73 whip.
Yes. No walk. I'm telling you, man, no walks. And the fastball is just ridiculous. So like that's really the main. I mean, like he has a good arsenal: fastball, slider, curve, changeup, like classic arsenal with really good command. But again, the fastball, it's not on the velocity; it's all on the movement. Like the fastball, I think his fastball has more IVB on it than any pitcher. Like that might be majors or minors. Like I don't know anyone else who's thrown up to like 22 inches of vert.
Is he on like the actual list?
Remember he
just because the
I
injuries.
think he was an able. When did they get his IVB? That might.
Well, I mean, like, is he a top MLB top prospect? Doesn't look like it.
Oh yeah, I mean he's top 100 for me. I've got him at 75.
He's not here for MLB.
Lame.
What is he? Is he like Owen Murphy's number 8 there on the Braves?
Yeah, that's lame. They're so wrong on that. Owen Murphy's a stud.
Is this just like MLB analysts that do this? I guess they probably did it while he was hurt or something.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like I'm down on Alejandro Rosario right now because he's hurt. So yeah, I don't know when they updated it, but obviously, like he's been pretty awesome. So like doesn't walk anybody. Great strikeout numbers. Even like his xFIP is below 3, which like you barely ever see that. So this guy keeps the ball in the yard. He's just a really, really good pitcher. And I really like Owen Murphy. Enough that I have him ahead of a guy like Caminiti, who I just said is a top of rotation guy.
But no chance.
Both these guys are top rotation guys.
So he's coming off 27 innings, reached a high A at most. So what do you think, like 100 innings maybe, and up to Double A this year, and then think about it in
he's gonna. I would assume he starts at Double A next year, and he gets to Triple A, and he throws over 100 innings. But it's the Braves. He could get up to the majors even. He's 22, and the only reason he has had low innings limit so far is because of Tommy John. Like before that, he was still throwing 5 innings a start or whatever. So it's not like he was like getting limited because they just, didn't want him to pitch or he couldn't get through an inning or something like that. It's more just he got hurt. So, first full season back after Tommy John, maybe he comes up for a cup of coffee at some point next year. Yeah. It all kind of depends on, if the Braves are going to go get players or if they're just going to rely on all these guys. Like if they're going to go into next year with like a rotation of 3 guys, and then the last 2 spots is just going to be a rotation of all these other prospects.
Still have like Waldrop and guys, right? Waldrop's still hanging around.
Yeah, still got Waldrop.
He had a decent season, I guess. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What about free agency? Like the Braves seem to have the lineup to make some noise still. You think they might just kind of go in for it in free agency, try to go for it one more time before it's a total disaster?
Yeah, I mean, they should. They have Acuna and Albies on such team-friendly deals. Like, it would be a shame not to. Like,
Ozuna might be done, but I mean, yeah, the top of the lineup's still going to be really good. Riley bounces back.
You still have Olsen, Murphy. You've got, Drake Baldwin. So you have 2 really good catchers there. You've got Michael Harris, who had a really good second half. Like, that's a very good lineup. You could add 1 hitter to that, and if they could go get, like, Sonny Gray, if they trade for Sonny Gray and then add a free agent hitter, and they're good at that. They always get some like random outfielder who like is really good for them. Like Jorge Soler, they got him after he was bad, and then he was really good for them. And like they're just really good at adding like some 3rd or 4th outfielder who all of a sudden becomes like a really good player for them for a few years. Like Osuna, everyone thought he was trash. Yeah, like everyone thought he was fun. Yeah. And then he was awesome for them for like 3 years. So
Profar too. They kind
of Profar
he's looking good for next year.
Yep,
that's the Braves.
Yep, that's the Braves. That's the podcast. We'll see you next time. Follow John on X at JohnPGH. Follow me at Fantasy Aceball. And make sure you subscribe to MLB Data Warehouse so you can get all this great data and you can get all the F scores and you can check all this stuff out on your own instead of just relying on podcasts. You're not going to be able to explore on your own. You're not going to be able to do the slides. You're not going to be able to find out what guys you like over what guys, because if you're just watching the podcast, you're only getting the content that we feed you. You can't play around and get all your own content and do your own research. So make sure you subscribe so you can play with the tools yourself. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.